Why are you wearing glasses?
Reading.
Reading? I didn't know you could read.
In Star Wars: A New Hope, Han and Luke disguise themselves in stormtrooper armor. As Luke walks out of the room, he says a line that wasn't originally planned.
I can't see a thing in this helmet.
While filming, Mark Hamill didn't realize the cameras were already recording and set it to Harrison Ford. The filmmakers liked the moment so much that they decided to keep it in the final movie.
I can't see a thing in this helmet.
In the horror action movie They Live, Roddy Piper delivers one of the film's most famous lines. When his character enters a bank to face aliens disguised as humans, he says a quote that later became a cult classic.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, all out of bubblegum.
Piper later explained that the director allowed him to improvise the scene and say whatever came to mind. Even he admitted he wasn't sure what the line really meant. Despite that, the quote became incredibly popular and has been referenced and parodied many times over the years.
Chew gum or kick ass.
I'm all out of gum.
Ghostbusters is a great example of Bill Murray's talent for improvisation. In the original movie, many of his lines were made up on the spot, which is even more impressive considering how natural and perfectly timed his delivery was.
Hey, where do these stairs go? They go up.
Dumb and Dumber features many hilarious improvised moments from Jim Carrey. For example, he originally wasn't supposed to say anything while leaving the hotel bar, but he noticed a framed 1969 newspaper on the wall and came up with a funny line on the spot.
We landed on the moon!
In the opening scene of Batman, Michael Keaton was originally supposed to say, "I am the night" or "I am vengeance." However, he and director Tim Burton felt that neither line sounded right, so Keaton improvised the now iconic line that ended up in the final movie.
What are you? I'm Batman.
In the movie Jaws, Chief Brody, played by Roy Scheider, delivers one of the most famous lines in movie history after coming face to face with the enormous great white shark.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
The film's producers were known for working with a tight budget, and the phrase became a running joke on set whenever something went wrong. Scheider improvised the line during a single take, and it worked so perfectly that the filmmakers decided to keep it in the final movie.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
In Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Arnold Schwarzenegger once again showed his talent for memorable one-liners. During filming, he improvised a famous line that went on to become one of the most iconic quotes in the movie.
I need a vacation.
What makes it even more interesting is that Arnold reportedly earned such a huge salary for the film that each word he spoke was worth more than $20,000. That spontaneous line ended up being worth every penny and became a fan favorite.
I need a vacation.
One of the simplest yet most memorable improvised moments in the Harry Potter film series came from Tom Felton. In a scene where Draco notices Goyle wearing glasses, Felton was faced with an unexpected moment. According to the story, he forgot his next line, so he quickly came up with a new one on the spot. The improvised quote fit the scene perfectly and ended up becoming one of the most unforgettable lines in the series.
Why are you wearing glasses?
Reading.
Reading? I didn't know you could read.
One of the most memorable moments in The Dark Knight happened in the hospital scene. Before the Joker blew up the hospital, the detonator didn't work. Heath Ledger improvised the moment and saved the scene, creating one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. While filming Midnight Cowboy, Dustin Hoffman was walking across the street when a real taxi suddenly stopped just inches away from him.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
Instead of breaking character, Hoffman stayed in the scene and improvised a few lines before smoothly returning to the scripted dialogue. The moment felt so natural and authentic that the filmmakers decided to leave it in the final cut.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
While filming the scene where Forrest meets Bubba in Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks decided to copy Bubba's introduction and added an extra line that wasn't in the script. The moment was completely improvised and fit the character so well that it made the final cut.
My name's Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump. So Bubba.
I got a jar of dirt, I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
While filming Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, Johnny Depp accidentally slipped while going down a set of stairs. Instead of stopping the scene, he stayed in character and turned the mistake into the famous jar of dirt moment. The reaction of his co-stars was completely genuine. They seemed surprised by what happened and were probably expecting the director to call for a cut, but the improvised moment worked so well that it stayed in the final movie.
There's something! Hey, Scungili!
Matthew McConaughey was added to a scene in Dazed and Confused at the last minute, and no dialogue had been written for him. So when the director called action, he came up with a line on the spot.
All right. How you doing?
What makes the moment even more impressive is that it was the very first scene McConaughey had ever filmed on camera.
All right.
Good Will Hunting remains one of the most beloved films ever made, and Robin Williams improvised many of its best moments. One of the movie's most iconic lines was completely made up on the spot by Williams. The unexpected line caught Matt Damon and everyone else on set by surprise, making their reactions completely genuine.
Son of a bitch. Stole my line.
In Fast and Furious 6, Dwayne Johnson delivered one of the most iconic improvised moments in movie history. After Tyrese Gibson made a spontaneous joke, Johnson came back with such a perfect response that the scene became an internet meme.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby, or I'm just playing.
You better hide that big-ass forehead.
I was just joking.
In Saving Private Ryan, a famous story told by Matt Damon was never part of the script. Instead, he came up with it during filming. What sounds like a simple conversation between soldiers was delivered so naturally that it added even more realism and authenticity to the movie.
Picture a girl who just took a nosedive from the ugly tree and hit every branch coming down.
In the movie Scream, the scene where Billy throws a phone and hits Stu in the head was completely accidental. The phone was supposed to miss Stu, but Skeet Ulrich's hands were slippery from fake blood, causing it to hit Matthew Lillard for real. Instead of breaking character, Lillard immediately improvised a now iconic line.
Fucking hit me with the phone, Dick!
In the movie Heat, this famous line was completely improvised by Al Pacino on the spot. Because no one expected it, Hank Azaria's shocked reaction in the scene was completely genuine.
She got a great ass! And you got your head all the way up it!
That name sounds like royalty. Are you royalty?
Sir, no, sir.
Do you suck dicks?
Sir, no, sir.
Bullshit, I'll bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
When director Stanley Kubrick couldn't find an actor who matched the tough drill sergeant style he wanted, he cast R. Lee Ermey, who was originally working as a technical advisor and had been a real drill sergeant. Kubrick told him to act the same way he would during actual boot camp, and Ermey reportedly improvised more than half of his lines in the movie Full Metal Jacket.
Sir, what? Are you about to call me an asshole?
Casting Sean Connery as Indiana Jones's father in The Last Crusade turned out to be a brilliant decision. In one scene, when the younger Jones asks his father how he knows Elsa is a Nazi, Connery improvised a hilarious line.
How did you know she was a Nazi? She talks in her sleep.
It worked so well that the first take had to be stopped because the crew couldn't stop laughing.
How did you know she was a Nazi? She talks in her sleep.
Warriors, come out to play.
Anyone who's seen the cult classic The Warriors knows the iconic line delivered by David Patrick Kelly. For years, fans debated whether he improvised it on the spot or not. Director Walter Hill later revealed that he and Kelly had actually come up with the line together before filming the scene.
Warriors, come out to play.
Gene Wilder was a brilliant improviser, and this moment in Blazing Saddles shows just how creative he could be. When Cleavon Little realizes the townspeople are still racist toward him even though he's now the sheriff, Wilder's character tries to cheer him up with a funny improvised line.
You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. You know, morons.